I've always just grown up watching the Miss America, Miss USA system. And on Facebook one night, I found the particular pageant system I first started doing. And I was like, we're going to try this. The worst thing is I fail, and that's absolutely fine. I'm Amber Williams. I have been traveling with Atlas since February, and I am on a Med-Surg unit currently. I am Miss Mississippi Pageant Land USA. One of our sweet directors in the state, Miss Melissa, she started this pageant last year. So this is kind of one of the bigger pageants I'll compete in. It's my first national pageant. Back in 2018, the year before I graduated nursing school, and I saw an ad for the Miss Magnolia State pageant, which is a Mississippi-based pageant system. And I said, I'm going to do a pageant. And I did the prelim for it, and I have been doing pageants ever since. It was just kind of a whim decision. No, I actually rodeoed all throughout high school, a little bit of college, and then I quit because I was in nursing school. But yeah, I rodeoed and did track, cross country up until 2018. And then I was like, we're going to try doing a pageant. So really, you have to figure out what categories are in the pageant. So the pageant I'm competing in, the first week in August, it has fun fashion, introduction, and evening gown. So I have to come up with my introduction statement, which I'm still working on. And then you have to pick out like your wardrobe, what are you gonna wear? And then once you figure out what you're gonna wear, then you have to practice walking in it. Because when you try to put on all those gowns and walk in those big old gowns, it's a whole lot different than just regular clothes, especially the shoes. And then ideally, some people get a coach, some don't. I'm blessed to have a large pageant family and coach and directors that kind of just jump in and help when needed. Well, I call them my pageant family. They're really my best friends. I've met both of my best friends in pageants, and they've turned into my family. I call them wherever, and they're always trying to come out and visit me wherever I'm at. Luckily, with this particular title, there is like a no contract. So there's really no requirements to do anything, which is kind of why I did choose this particular system to compete in, because with me traveling, sometimes it can be a little more challenging to coordinate things. But if I wanted to go around and visit the Children's Hospital and make appearances anywhere, they're pretty much okay with all that. Well, I have my calendar, my big old planner is actually in my room, and I have everything written down, and I could not tell you how many mad dashes home I have made to jump in a pageant really quick and then to come back to work. It's kind of tedious, but luckily, like I said, our directors that put on the pageants are pretty good at giving us an advance notice so I can coordinate things. You have to be very organized. That is the biggest thing I could say that the two relate is you have to be organized, and you have to just stay on top of everything you have to do. Otherwise, if you get behind on one little thing, it will throw everything off. And then the people skills, because I talk to patients every day, I take care of them. So on the flip side with the pageants, I have no problem talking to anybody. And then, of course, with pageantry, you have like the little kids that look up to you. So I was a pediatric nurse before I started traveling back on the adult side. So it kind of ties everything all in. I still get to see my kiddos. Pull this tricky thing off. It actually matches my hair for once. Probably the biggest thing would be when my patients do find out that I do pageants. I get this typical of, oh really, you do pageants? And I'm like, there's so much more to pageantry than you realize. It takes a lot to get up on stage in front of 500 something people and walk around and talk. It's kind of been tricky with traveling. Where I'm living at now, when some of my neighbors go to the gym, because that's where I practice walking and all my stuff, because that's really where I have, they kind of give me questionable looks. And then once they realize what I'm doing, they're like, oh, just ignore her, she's fine. And I'll be with whatever outfit I have on in my heels practicing because it's big enough. That's been kind of the interesting part, is finding places to practice while traveling. I would say that it's helped my people skills a lot more, just with my personal life and work life. You kind of have to think on the fly with a lot of things. And with nursing, you have to think on the fly with a lot of stuff. You have to take all the knowledge you have and kind of piece it together based off what you're presented with. And pageants is the same way, and I'll have to credit my thinking skills and my people skills to that. It has helped a lot.